So this is how we train our prospects to buy from us, and it's resulted in us generating millions of dollars. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we do it and show you how you can do it too.
Thank you!
So I've been in this whole online marketing game for about 7.5 years now. And about 4 or 5 years ago, I actually started working for this online coaching company that actually ran a lot of events. And the guy who I was working for, he was an incredible speaker, and he made a lot of his company's money by doing talks on stage and then selling at the end. Now, most of those events were hugely successful. He's done multiple millions of dollars from stage. And every time he goes up to speak and he hosts an event and he sells from stage, he does this one thing that trains people to say yes and pay. And this is probably one of the most powerful things I have seen in sales, yet I actually have never seen anyone else do this, especially in digital marketing where people are hosting webinars, challenges, live virtual events. I've seen no one else do it. So what is it? Well, let me explain. So we recently hosted a 5-day challenge and we did about over 200K in sales. I think we collected about 170K in cash at the end of the 5 days. And this is what we did. So on day 1, it is just regular teaching content. And on day 2, we do regular teaching content, but we also do this strategy that I'm about to explain. And then on day 3, we will teach, but we will sell our offer at the end of day 3. And then day 4, again, we will teach, we'll do another sell. And then on day 5, again, we'll teach and we'll do like a last push to generate sales. So obviously on day 3, 4, and 5 is where we make all of our money. But what happens on day 2 is what makes it successful, or at least has a huge impact, I believe, on the success of the sales.
Yeah, boy.
So on day 2, we would do what we call an action frame, which, as the name suggests, it frames your prospects to take action. Because a lot of the time when you just present the opportunity to them on day 3, there's going to be a lot of fear around saying yes, taking action, taking the next step, and actually putting in the credit card details and buying from you. So here's what we do with the action frame. At the end of the day 2 teaching, we transition into a mini sell where we essentially say, hey, I want to do something special for one person who is watching here right now. And you'll do like a very short mini pitch. It's not like a full-on sell. You don't go through a stack. It's not like a big offer. You basically sell this one thing. And obviously it's related to day 2's teaching, right? So it's something that these people would want and they know the value of. And you basically say, hey, I'm going to do this for one person. If you want to be that one person, I'm going to drop the link in the chat in a second here. And the first person who buys is going to get it, right? And it can be anything, right? It could be a one-on-one coaching session with the person who is teaching. It could be a course. It could be a product, whatever it is. Again, it depends on what you're teaching during that time. But essentially you say, okay, 3, 2, 1, the first person who gets it will get the product and then no one else can. So you drop the link in the chat, or if you're in an event hall, you would be like the first person to the back of the room, depends on how you're selling, right? So you're going to drop the link and then people are going to be ready to buy. And there's going to be some people who aren't ready to buy, and that's fine. That's the whole point, right? So essentially the one person goes through, the person buys, right? They'll go to the checkout, they'll buy the product, and then you shut down the checkout page. Now, what you do afterwards is you congratulate the person for securing the spot. So if you're in a challenge and you've got everyone on Zoom, you would bring that person out on Zoom. Obviously, if you're in an event hall, then you would like highlight that person who got to the back of the room first and filled out their details. Then you would congratulate them.
Congratulations.
And then what you do is you say, you know what? Because you're an action taker, because you trusted yourself, because you were the first to the back of the room, because you were the first to check out, what I want to do for you is to give you that completely free. We're going to actually refund you all the money you paid, right? And that's a great moment for them. Everyone is like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. The person who obviously won will feel very, very good that they get this thing for completely for free and they get their money refunded. Now, that's cool, but what does that do? we have shown there that we have rewarded someone for taking action. So that's number one, right? These people are now going to associate taking action with a reward. And a lot of the people will be like, oh, I wish I got to the back of the room first. Oh, I wish I checked out first. I wish I wasn't scared to take action. I wish I took that opportunity. So you're training your people to say yes and take action. And what you can do after this is directly attack this situation. So you can say to the people watching, I wanted to do that as a lesson, because who in this room would feel like that product or service or that opportunity was valuable, right? And everyone probably would put their hand up, yes, it was valuable. And then what you say is, but why didn't you take action? Why didn't you get to the back of the room? The reason why is because a lot of you took yourself out of the game. A lot of you had this voice in the back of your head that stopped you from taking action. And you basically go into a big teaching point around when you are presented with an opportunity that could get you a result, that could change your life, you are always going to have this voice in the back of your head, which is fear, which is trying to keep you inside of your comfort zone. But if you take action, you step outside of your comfort zone, you take risks, etc., you will get rewarded. So this is the full action frame. It's framing your people to take action. So what happens is that on day 3, when you go to do the sell, the same thing happens. You're going to obviously present them with a different opportunity. That's going to be your offer. You're going to do the pitch. You're going to do the sell. You're going to tell them to go to the back of the room, or you're going to tell them to click the link and buy. And what happens is those people will associate taking action with reward. So a lot of people will go ahead and buy. And then also you're going to have that second group of people that have that fear in the back of their mind. But what they will do is they will revert back to the teaching on day 2 and be like, oh, yes, this is the little voice of fear that stopped me from taking action yesterday and I didn't win the reward. So I'm not going to let that hold me back today, and then I'm going to take action. And that frame alone is so powerful, and it will get a huge percentage of your people who would have been scared to take action to actually go and convert the next day. And again, when you do the teaching on day 2, where you talk about the fear and the voice in the back of the head, everyone in the room or everyone on the Zoom call will be like, yeah, you're 100% right. Totally. My mind was taking me out of the game. And this just totally removes any fear around taking action and actually buying from you. Another thing that it does as well is get people comfortable with the sales process. So again, if you're in like an event hall and you're selling from stage, typically how you process payments and how you make sales is you get people to go to the back of the room. Now, the first time that you sell from stage, and if it's the first time people are at these types of events, it can be pretty confusing on what to do. Like, do I go to the back of the room? Do I not? Like, how do I buy? Blah, 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 right? So if you do kind of like a trial close here, right, with the action frame, then people are going to see what happens. People are going to see people get up. People are going to see people go to the back of the room to buy. So when you do that on day 3 and you do the actual sell, people are trained in terms of they know what to do. And it's the same with if you're doing it virtually as well. On day 2, you drop the link, people will click the link and you go to a checkout page, and people now know that it's kind of like a safe and secure checkout page because in the action frame, people have gone through and bought. So again, on day 3, when you drop that link, people aren't that scared to click a link or fill out their payment details because they now feel safe and they understand the process. The process is familiar to them. So it really works on 2 fronts. Number 1, it reframes their mind to put them in a buying state. And number 2, it makes them familiar with the buying process so they feel safer doing it when you present them with the main offer. And again, I've seen in person how powerful this is by being in the event room when he did it from stage. But I've also seen the amount of money it also makes him when he does it with virtual events as well. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't seen other people that are doing this, but I've literally only seen this guy do it. And I think it's just one of the most powerful things you can do to increase your conversions, but I don't see anyone else doing it. So if you like the video and you got value from it, then make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.